morning and welcome to A&E TV. Today we're joined by Janine Knizia. She is the founder of Muse Heroine and also a holistic health coach. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks a lot for being here.
Thanks for coming. Do you want to start us off by talking through your morning routine?
Yes. So my morning usually starts around 5 a.m. and I wake up very early. I do like 10 minutes of meditation. And then I put on my sports clothes and I go to the gym, I go running, I do yoga, like around for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. I take my big breakfast. I love big breakfast. and then I go to work.
Amazing. Sounds like a very healthy start to the day.
Yes, exactly.
And do you want to tell us a bit about your company and what you do?
Yes, so actually I just founded, meaning like last year, I started with a company that is called Muse Heroine. So it's a concept that is all about clean beauty, well-being, self-care. That actually, because I spent a lot of time in Los Angeles, and there is all about this healthy living already. And so my goal was to bring all of this to Europe and to Middle East, because here we are really far behind this world that is existing in LA. And so every time I came back to Europe, I was not able to find the products, to find my brands, to find my food. And so this was my idea to bring this finally to Europe and to Middle East.
Amazing. And do you want to talk us through how you got into the beauty industry and why you're so passionate about it?
Yes. So actually my background is fashion. So I worked for the last 15 years in the international fashion business. But besides of this, and even I think before I even started with fashion, I was always passionate and almost obsessed by beauty. So I remember even when I was a teenager, I really was already hanging up in the drugstores, looking to the products, looking at the ingredients, and trying, I think, every single week a new product. And so it went on like for all my life, but I worked in fashion. But at one point I knew I have to do something with beauty. And then also my interest was really going into the green beauty, because it's very, very interesting on this topic. And when you know what you put into your, like on your skin, it's so important. And then with LA and this healthy lifestyle where I spent a lot of time, I knew that now it's the moment, now or never, because now it starts also here, that the people really are interested into this. I mean, it's still a pioneer, like it's just started here. So there's so much educational work to do. This is my job, it's the job of the buyers. It's the job of the stores and the magazines and the TV.
What do you think is the work that needs to be done, like in this region in particular? Because you mentioned we're a little bit behind here, maybe?
Yes. So actually, it already starts with really healthy food places. So I think here you have a few places, and one of these amazing places is, for example, White and the Moon that you have here, or Le Comptoir, the coffee place. So they are like already, like they're showing that there is something existing. But let's go to LA. I mean, you almost can't find anymore a normal pizza. So you just get healthy pizza, like vegan pizza, gluten-free pizza, and here it's not existing. If you want here to find a clean beauty store, like really that is focusing on clean beauty brands, and there are so many amazing clean beauty brands in this world, you can't find it. You have the normal beauty stores with the normal commercial brands, but really focusing on all these non-toxic things and supplements, it's really something where we are so much behind. And I think it's really time that the stores changing their mind and they're more conscious about this concept. And then it goes on, also sports. I mean, in LA, it's so much about yoga, different kinds of yoga, meditation, sound bathing. Every time I go there, there's something new that even I don't know. And so every time, and it's like every 2 months, I experience something new. And it's so exciting. And I think this we have really to introduce here into our world.
Amazing. And you mentioned before about going to drugstores to buy your beauty products when you were younger.
Yes.
Do you remember your first memory within beauty and within wellness that kind of captured you?
Actually, I remember very well. I had the sister of my grandmother, and she was absolutely a beauty victim. I mean, nowadays, I think she's 86, 87. She still has blonde hair. She's taking care about herself in an amazing way. And I remember, I think I was like 10, 11 years old, and she took me by her side and she said, so the next time you go into a drugstore, you have to buy a cream for the neck and the décolleté. This is the most important that all the women forget to take care of. They only treat their face, but they don't treat their neck and their décolleté. So please,
it's very young.
never do this. This is very, very important. And so I remember that I was very young and I bought this cream. And so I really started very young to buy different creams for the different parts of the body.
Amazing. And you're also a holistic health coach, right? And why is that something that's important to you?
So due to my job in the fashion business, that is a very busy and unhealthy job, to be honest, because you're spending a lot of time in the airports and the airplanes. You have a lot of fashion weeks, so you don't have really a healthy life. And so I feel it, like I'm mid-30 now, and I feel it on my body, like you feel you're more tired, you are getting more sick than you should be sick at your age. And so I was just looking around and I thought, okay, now I have to change something. And if I ever want to do also in this business and I want to move into this business, I want to have a fundament where I really say, I know everything about this. And this was for me so important. And I didn't want to do it in Europe, as I said before, because we are still from the concept a little bit behind the US. And so I checked many institutes and universities in USA. And so I choose for the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York, as I found the concept very inspirational, because it's really, they're also going behind just the food part. It's also about, they call it primary and secondary food. And primary food is actually everything about the psychology. So how this is related and belonging to each other. And this is an incredible, interesting concept. And so I studied this, I got my degree, and this was like my door opener.
Great. Amazing. And what do you think has been your biggest achievement to date?
So actually, my biggest achievement was really stepping out of this comfort zone that I had, having an amazing job, flying around the world, earning a lot of money, and really stepping out of this one and be able and be strong enough to really create your own business and an own company with a concept that is not very well known still here, because it's a kind of a pioneer work. So it's something where you really need to be very strong and where I really have to educate the people what it is about. And I think it was quite hard, especially because I created this company in a very short time. Actually, within 3 months, I made this decision. I took a flight to LA. I was there for a longer time to get all the concept done, to speak with all the brands and the owners. And I think this was something, now looking back, I don't know how I did it. I really have no idea. Launching everything in January this year and starting in such a successful way, but sometimes it's like this.
And which sounds like it's been very full on. What's been the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome?
So the biggest challenge, you mean now for Muse Heroine, like starting this project? This was actually to really believe in myself, because you always have doubts and you think, am I able to do this? Will I succeed? And so I had a lot of doubts, and my friends were really behind me, pushing me, and told me, don't give up. Like really this philosophy of don't give up, just go through this, be strong and fight, just fight.
Amazing. So I was going to ask, who inspires you the most?
So actually, there were so many people in my life that I met that inspires me. I can't tell you I'm inspired by just one person or one famous person, because for me it's important that a person that inspires me, I need to know personally. This is for me like the most inspiring people. Like this can be for example, my first boss in my life when I was 20 years old. She was an amazing person and she inspired me so much to give me with 20 years, some self-confidence, and I learned a lot from her. And there are some other people in my life with their stories and their backgrounds that inspires me. I think there are hundreds of people where you always can learn something from and take something for yourself. And so it's not one person just.
Okay. What has been your personal motto that you've lived by?
So actually my personal motto is really like I had to learn to be present, like to live in the now, not looking back and not to plan too much in the future. So really my personal motto, like over the last years, it's really to enjoy the moment where you're living now and to live for this, because every day is a new day, and you have to stop thinking about what was wrong in the past and why it was not going in this way. And you even can't plan anything, because I know that the plans
They don't always happen.
Exactly.
Is that the same as your professional motto though, or do you have a different one when it comes to work?
When it comes to work, I think a little bit more of the future, of course.
Okay.
I have to think a little bit upfront. But anyhow, I'm just, like when I started, I was so grateful for every single day, for every buyer, for every store that was amazed about this new concept and was willing to start with. The same as now here in Dubai, I start with Comptoir. And so I was like, you're just so happy. And so when I went to bed every day, it was just, okay, thank you that these people are really feeling the power of this concept.
Just being grateful at the end of the day.
Absolutely. It's just being grateful for every single step, for everything that is happening.
Great. And if you could tell your younger self one piece of advice,
so
what would that be?
Yes, definitely it would be to believe much more in yourself, to be much more self-confident, because when I am looking back to myself when I was younger, I was quite shy. And so nowadays I would say, no, you have to be much more stronger and really believe in yourself.
No, that's good advice.
Yes.
And obviously your background before you were doing this was in fashion.
Yes.
So how would you describe your personal style?
So my personal style actually is, it depends on the occasion, but I would describe it a little bit as a cool classic, but always with a little bit of chic. So it can be like a destroyed denim with a white tee, super cool, the typical LA style. It can be a little bit like an ethno style, like I am today, like a little bit comfy. But anyhow, when there is a night, like when there's an event during the fashion week, a nice evening, of course I need to be dressed quite.
So mix it up a little bit.
Yes. So I don't have the one style that I can say this is me. And I love to change always. I think it's important to always change a little bit and try new things and new trends, and don't be too focused.
Definitely. And what do you say no to in life?
So, what I say no, it was actually very, very hard to say no at one point in a life. Like you have to learn how to say no, because no, at the end, what was for me a lesson, when you say no, it's also, it means you can focus on the yes. So it's something positive also saying no. And I think no is now when people want to convince me about something and they want to tell me what I have to do and which path I have to go. Like now I'm really strong enough and really self-confident that I can say, no, I don't think this is the right way for me.
Amazing. So. And are you reading a book at the moment?
Yes, I'm reading a book at the moment that I bought in Nepal. The last time I got there, I'm quite often in Nepal. And it's a book of joy from Dalai Lama. So it's an interview book. It's very, very nice.
Amazing. And how would you like the world to remember you?
So I would like that the world remembers me as a person that really tried to inspire people, that motivate people to transform their life in a better, in a healthier, in a more beautiful way, that really can make an impact on something, that really can do a change. So this would be great if I can succeed.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today, Janine.
Thank you so much for being here, for having me here.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.